So what's your general philosophy on running silencers on guns for home defense?
So whether you call it suppressor, can, silencer, silencer is the name on the patent. It's technically a silencer, even though it doesn't really silent. This is silent, like this is sick movie quiet. This is a 300 blackout, and so this one is kind of like super silent. And then this one, it's on a 5.56. This one isn't silent at all. This is like suppressing. Anyway, I love cans. In the front of that very incendiary video I made on no cans for home defense, everyone lost their minds when I started the video and said, first off, guys, I like cans. I love them. I got them everywhere. I really like them. But there's one context I can think of where I'm not really a big fan of having cans, and that's for a personal home defense thing. Now, like if you're a part of a SWAT team or special operations team, or you're just dude at the range, or almost all the contexts I can think of, cans are a really cool idea. But in home defense, and now I'm going to tell you kind of the big thrust of my argument, and even when I said the argument, people just couldn't grasp it. They couldn't really follow me. I think they were stalled out on like, he has a can and he's choosing not to use it. It's like blasphemy. There's rendering of garments of how dare you have the cool thing and not use it always. It's like, I've got night vision. I love night vision. Night vision's cool. But there's some context that if you use night vision in areas of like photopic lighting conditions, it can get you killed because you're visible to the bad guy. You think that you're hidden and you're not. And because you couldn't read lighting conditions well, you get yourself killed. Anyway, sorry.
See, I didn't even
know
all
the lead up. Here it is. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. The big thing is I don't know who's fishing around the outside of my house, right? And so what if a bad guy breaks in? Now, whether you got a can or not, that dude, if he's breaking in and you've done any preparation, that dude gets iced immediately. Yeah. Never knows what hits him, right? But who else is around the perimeter? Are there 2 or 3 people outside? In that video, I was holding in my hand a 300 blackout. It was actually these upper and lower receivers. And it was running subsonic ammunition, which means if someone was in another room, they would not register that a firearm had gone off. The action is actually louder than the shot report. It's stupid quiet. And so it just doesn't do the same psychological message telling as something like a louder gun would. Louder guns are scarier, period. They just are. Some people will freak out and be like, that's not true. And they're just, okay, fantastic. You have fun with that. I don't agree, but louder things are generally scarier, right? So anyway, what I'm trying to do is keep other people from being able to attack me. I don't want them to come in at me. And so if they hear a fire-breathing dragon has all of a sudden descended upon my living room, they're far less reticent to come in and investigate and see what fate has befallen their buddy.
Gotcha. So for me, so this is one of the guns that this is my gun that sits on the other side of my bed. I actually did a video on the gun on the other side of the bed that I sleep closest to is my HK-45, and then this one sits on the other side, on the other nightstand. Why? I don't know, but
because maybe, America.
Yeah, well, there's that. I think they're delusions of grandeur where I think, okay, I'm going to roll over 3 times in my king size bed and then get to the other gun if they're on that side. But for me, it's always been about noise and what you just talked about. But for me, is protecting my hearing. And my mindset is, okay, middle of the night, I grab my gun and let's say I have to use it. I don't want to have to blow up my ears considering I live in the space that I live in. So I do have a rifle next to my bed as well, which is also 300 blackout. And I have that suppressed as well. And so for me, what I don't want is to run that, and it's an SBR. I don't want to run that without a can because I am running supers out of that. No, I have a magazine full of subs and then I have a magazine with supers in it. So if I ever had to go to that, that's a whole different conversation. But for me, I wanted to make sure that I'm not completely blowing out my hearing if it ever came down to me having to use that gun in self-defense. Now, A lot of this for me is theoretical because I've never actually been in a gunfight before. So these are things that I kind of think through based on the information that I've researched. You, on the other hand, you have a different background and a different experience level than I do.
You know how frightening it is to think about what happens in the moments and even days after you've had to use your gun in self-defense? When you first start carrying a gun for protection, it can be scary thinking about the psychological effects, potential jail time, and the court costs associated with the self-defense shooting. I've been there myself, hoping I never have to go through it, which is why I use concealed carry insurance with USCCA. As a USCCA member, you can mitigate, if not completely eliminate, the stress and financial burden of the legal battle you may face after a self-defense shooting. If you want to learn more, click the link in the description where I did a full review of this concealed carry insurance. However, there is a second link in the description where USCCA offers a 365-day money-back guarantee, which lets you try it out for a whole year. And if you don't like it, get all your money back. And to help further spread our two-way message, don't forget to like, share, comment, and hit the bell and subscribe button. Let my voice be your voice. Also, if you're wondering where to purchase your AR-15s are essential, I will not comply, I am the militia, I lost all my guns in a boating accident, and your state-specific Keep America tactical shirt, click the link next to my head or the link in the description section, or if you're watching this on a mobile device, tap the small triangle on the lower right-hand side of this video and click the link in the description.